I've been doing research on this really for several years now, along with social entrepreneurship and impact investing. I've been looking at corporate social responsibility and identifying people who are not just making a difference in the world, but who seem to really be thriving as a result of that. And as I've looked at case study after case study, and I've had the opportunity really to look firsthand through my journalistic lens to see really what's going on and what's working. And of course, I'm also able to filter that against my corporate experience, right? As an investment banker, as an old CFO and corporate executive. So I'm able to look at this really from two different directions and think about really what works for corporate social responsibility. And the bottom line is, although not all CSR will add profit, well-constructed CSR programs will add profit. You need to really engage with your employees, and you really need to engage with your customers. But when you do that, when you capture their hearts, then you actually motivate your employees to work harder, to get more out of them, even as you treat them better and more fairly. And then at the same time, you're capturing the hearts and minds of your customers. They're becoming more loyal. They're willing to pay a premium for your services. You're going to attract new customers. And the combination of these factors of more loyal employees, more loyal customers, enables you to actually make more money, even if you're contributing a portion of revenue or profits to a cause. And so it's really exciting. I mean, it is in 90s business jargon, it's real synergy. So I get really excited about that. I think that corporate giving has been a relatively small portion of total philanthropic giving over in the past. But what I see about corporate giving going forward is that it is likely to grow as a percentage of the total pie, and it has in its nature a sort of infinite capability, because the larger a company grows, the more profitable it becomes, the more it can do in terms of corporate social responsibility funding. And if the corporate social responsibility funding is helping to drive the profitability, then that cycle becomes kind of a virtuous cycle that feeds on itself. And so I get very excited about the potential for corporate funding to potentially double or triple over the next 10 or 20 years. And so I think it really will play a key part in really changing the world for good and solving some of the world's biggest problems. I think the biggest problem we have with corporate social responsibility is helping the corporate officers, especially people like me, the old CFOs, to see corporate social responsibility not as a burden, not as an obligation, but as an opportunity to really construct programs that will engage customers and employees and drive the company forward instead of being a mere social tax of some sort. And so I'm actually in the process of writing a book to go with my message on this topic to convince especially CFOs who I think, having been a CFO, this is a hard thing to sell, but I think we can convince more and more corporate executives, especially those CFOs, that in fact, corporate social responsibility programs, I sometimes call them purpose programs, really can drive the business forward. And I'm hopeful that we can prove that.